I don't think anyone has come out of this conflict well. I have argued in the past that this is the war that everyone lost, because every state that has been involved in the Syria conflict is in a worse position than they were in 2011 before this all began. Even states like Russia and Iran, that you might argue have been successful because they backed Bashar al-Assad and he remains in power, have paid a heavy price for their interventions. It has been costly in terms of blood and treasure. The Iranians have lost their claim to speak on behalf of the whole Middle East. They tried in the past to position themselves as a global Muslim power. Now, as a result of their involvement in Syria, they really are seen very much as a Shia power, only standing by their Shia allies in Syria, Lebanon and Iraq, with no broader appeal. So they have lost heavily in terms of regional appeal and soft power. The Russians, which also seem to be in a stronger position now, still face the prospect of radicalized Russian Muslims. They've been increasingly targeted by plots against them as a result of their intervention in Syria, and we still don't know whether or not they're going to be able to extricate themselves from the quagmire there as well. So even though they look like they're in a stronger position than perhaps their enemies in the United States and regional allies, they are arguably in a worse position in 2011. I think that some states have done much worse out of it. I think Turkey has done very poorly. It again began the crisis with ambitions of regional leadership and is currently in a position where it's actually facing multiple internal crises based on the number of refugees it's received and the amount of terrorism, whether by ISIS or by the Kurdish actors. I think Qatar also has had its wings clipped. It also began the Syria crisis with pretensions of regional leadership. It has now absolutely been put back in its box and is no longer in the strong position. And of course, Europe has suffered greatly as a result of the Syria crisis, the migrant crisis, and a loss of its regional credibility. So a lot of states are worse off. But in terms of who got it right, I would only argue that the Russians and the Iranians had the clearest agenda from the word go. They wanted to keep Bashar al-Assad in power, and in that, no matter what cost they paid, they have succeeded, because perhaps they read the situation on the ground better than the other actors. But I don't think them getting it right means that they've won. I think actually they, like everyone, have lost this war.